Hello, CCI teachers. I'm going to take you quickly through the OSSLT practice test. I know many teachers have nothing to do with the OSSLT or English or whatever in general, and so for them that this might be something new, but we will be having the grade 10s write uh, in March and in April, and we need teachers to be at least familiar with the test. Some of you will be supervising the official test, obviously, but we would like all students to have at least one experience with the practice test, which is very, very similar, almost identical to the real test in terms of its structure and format, and just have the kids work their way through it. So at least those things aren't problems when they're actually writing. So this is my goal here in just 2 or 3 minutes to take you through so you can see. So when you get the link, I'm going to be sending out a document to you all. When you get the link for this test, you can share it with your students in EDSB, Google Classroom, whichever one you like. And when they're here, they can put their name on the top and enter. And when they enter, they're going to see this first page. It starts with a minds on, and that's just to get them thinking. The same thing will occur on test day. There will be a minds on activity. It's not evaluated. It's mostly just to get them into the right mental headspace. There are general instructions here. Obviously, you're supposed to answer all things to the best of your ability. And when they're writing, they'll be writing inside of a program called Kiosk, and we'll deal with that later. But it's a lockdown browser which will prevent students from navigating away from the test to other screens or whatever. That will be perceived as cheating. And if you are a teacher who are supervising, we'll show you how to unlock their screen, because every once in a while they navigate away accidentally, or they're just silly, or sometimes the computer will navigate away on itself if you press too hard on the plate of the screen or of the keyboard. The cursor will bounce around and it'll cause it to lock up. The most important of the things here is the text box issue. When students are writing answers in text boxes, the suggested word count is kind of almost a hard word count. You can allow 10 extra words, but really, if it says it wants 100 words, 80 to 100 words is the target. So that's the goal. So the box and the amount of text suggested is the suggested amount you should be striving for. There's another tool over here, another button called Tools, and what it does is it shows you, it takes the kids through, and you can take them through as well, all the different functionality that's there to help them. So there are things like, in this case, basically an app that reads text for them.
Tool exploration. Click the listen icon for the page to be read out.
Obviously, you can make things larger or smaller. Obviously, we've got things like high contrast for students with visual impairments, and highlighters and other things like that. They can use all of that functionality. You can take most of that will be very familiar to students. They won't have any problem with that. And as we move down through here, we can all review and submit. I want to get to the next part of the test, and this is really the first part of what the official test looks like. So on the official OSSLT day, after they've navigated through all that stuff at the beginning, this is the first part of the test. Part 1 and Part 2 will both look like this. So Part 1, you'll get a picture of Canada. You will get 3 buttons over here, and each button is a section. When all 3 sections are complete, students will get a badge, and then they know that they can submit. So I'll just sort of show you a little bit of the functionality of that. So I select the one I want to do, real live narrative. And so I have an option here. I can listen to the audio text of it, or I can read through it. And there's the functionality down here, as you can see down the right, which is excellent. And so I can read all of this. And when I'm done reading it, I can then go to the first question. And what they will see is options. And so when they select the option, this is a practice test, obviously. It'll give them a little bit of feedback. But when they select their option, and they can do it,
Malaria treatments are expensive.
I can choose that. I might want to just turn off my thing. So I might want to select that as my choice. Go to my next question. Say I'm not really sure. One of the options that appear only when you're in the test, it doesn't appear down the right hand side here, is sort of a split screen here, where we get the true the true functionality that's most useful to the students, when they can hunt and peck here on the right through the text and then answer the question, and that's probably the best functionality that exists. So that's all you really need to know to get started. And the goal is that hopefully every grade 10 teacher will take their students through this practice test and get them familiar with it. That can be done at the end of a period